Good morning, Year 4, and welcome to Thursday's maths lesson. This lesson is going to be for the children with the Year 3 booklet, and if this video is for you, then today I'd like you to turn to page 14 in your booklets, and you're going to come across this page, and this is our learning for today. Now you'll notice at the top here, we are now multiplying. Now we have been subtracting this week, haven't we? So I'm going to look at my learning question for today. So looking at our learning question, it says, can I begin to use common times tables to multiply? And when we say common times tables, it's the times tables that we already are pretty secure with. So we're going to be having a look at those times tables, and to start us off, we're going to have a go at our number splat. Okay, so I've got some numbers which are written on my board, and I want you to see if you can figure out at home which times tables I'm going to be looking at to do my number splat. I've got the numbers 6, 9, 27, 3, 15 and 30. Which is my times tables I'm looking at today, Year 4? It is my 3 times table. So I'm going to be looking at my 3 times table, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to shout out the number sentence, and the answer is going to be behind me. And what we're going to do is, when we know what that answer is, we're going to use this and we're going to splat the number. Okay, so for example, let's do a trial run first. So I'm going to say 3 times 10. Now 3 times 10 I know is 30. So what I would do, I would say 3 times 10 and we would splat, and that would be 30. Okay, so we get the rules of the game. We're going to play number splat with the 3 times table. Okay, so I'm going to do 3 times 5. 3 times 5, what is it? It should be 15. Okay, 3 times 9, 27. 3 times 1, 3. 3 times 2, 6. And 3 times 3 is 9. Now we know if it's a number that is multiplied by itself, for example, 3 times 3, that is a squared number because it's multiplied by itself. Okay, so we're going to speed it up a little bit now. Right, so 3 times 5, tell me. 15. 3 times 1. 3 times 2. 3 times 9. Yes, 27. 3 times 10 is, yes, 30. 3 times 2, 6. 3 times 3, 9. 3 times 2 again, what can you tell me? Well done. And 3 times 1, who can tell me what it is? It is 3. One more. 3 times 9, tell me what it is. Well done, it's 27. Okay, so we've got our 3 times table, we've got our brains working now. So remember, we are going to be using our common times tables, the times tables we are pretty secure with, to have a go at multiplying today. Okay, so you're going to have some questions that are in your booklet, and these are just getting you to answer the times table question that it's asking. So we've got, for example, you may have 2 times 8. So 2 times 8. And I've just put this into a little group here. And underneath, 2 times 8 means 2 lots of 8. So 2 times 8 is 2 lots of 8. Now, if you were a little bit unsure with your times tables, then what you can do is draw them out. So it's 2 lots, 2 groups of 8. So what I could do, I've got 2 lots, so I've got 1, 2 lots of 8. So there's 8 in each of my circles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got 2 lots of 8. You can see on the board there is 2 groups with 8 in each. So I need to know what the total of that is all together. So I know I've got 8 in one, and then I can start crossing off in my next box. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 2 lots of 8. How many dots were there altogether? There were 60. So I can write my answer here. So when you come on to using those multiplications number sentences below, if you are stuck on any of them, then you can use the lots of method that we do use in school, where we group them together and we put how many is in each group. So that was 2 lots of, or 2 groups of 8, and there was 8 in each group. So what we did then was we added them all together. Now the reason why I didn't start crossing off in my first group is because I already know that there's 8 in there, because there's 8 in a group. I just counted on from 8. Okay, so now we're going to move on. So I want to have a look at our 3 times tables again, and you can do this at home as well. We're going to be looking at our 3 times table, and you can see that underneath I have put a QR code. So you can pause the video now, and you can hold up your device to get onto the same 100 square that I'm going to look at on the video with you. Now, if you are struggling to do that, if you are using a laptop device, don't worry, I'll explain at the end of the video how to get onto this. So we're going to go on to our 100 square. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start showing my 3 times table. Okay, so I remember at the start of the lesson 1 times 3 was 3. Oh. There we go, 3. And then 2 times 3 was 6. And then I remember at the start of the lesson we had 3 times 3, which was 9. So we had 3, 6, 9. And then I'm getting a little bit stuck now, so I need to count on another 3. There's 1, 2, 3. So we've got 3, 6, 9, 12. What was next? Oh yes, so 3 times 5, that was on the start of our lesson. That was 15. So 15 was in my 3 times table. I'm not sure of which one is next. I'm going to count on 3. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to do the same again. 1, 2, 3. And again, so 1, 2, 3. I know that 30 is in there. I know 27, that was at the start of the lesson, and 33, I know that one as well. So I want you to have a look at that 100 square there. And have I got my 3 times table correct? Let's have a look at the very beginning. So we've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 17, 20, 23, 27, 30 and 33. Have a look at my 100 square. Okay, and you should have noticed that some of them I did get wrong. Now, I might not know what was next in my 3 times table, and I could jump on 3, but the mistake I made was I counted this one as 1. So I'm going to take away these. These ones are my incorrect ones. What I need to do is count the next square as 1. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what you're going to do in your books in home is you're going to shade in all of the numbers that are in the 3 times table. And if you want to use the number square to help you, you can always hold your device up to the QR code if you want to, but if not, we will show you at the end of the video how to get on there. Okay, so moving on to our final part of the lesson. We've had a look at our 3 times table. We've also had a look at a range of times tables. The next one that we are looking at is going to be our twos. Okay, so I've done an example on the board of a question that's very similar to the one that's in your book. So it says on the board, draw lines to match numbers that are twice as big. So I've got my numbers here, and if they are twice as big, these are the numbers that I need to link up. So I've got the number 7, the number 2, and the number 3. Now, if you are making a number twice as big, that means that it's been doubled. And to double it, we use our 2 times table. So what I would like us to do is 2 times 7. 2 times 7. Can you tell me what 2 times 7 is? You can tell me on the screen if you want to. So 2 times 7 is 14. Have I got the number 14 on this side? Can you see the number 14 on this side? Yes, I can see that. So I can link this one to the number 14 because that is twice as big. I've doubled it and I've used my 2 times table. So moving on to my next number, I've got the number 2. So the multiplication that I need to do in my head is 2 times 2. Okay, so 2 times 2. So 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Now, can you see the number 4 on this side? No, I haven't got the number 4 there, so I can't join any of them up, I'm afraid, on that one. So let's move on to the final number that I've got, which is the number 3. So I need to do 2 times 3. 2 times 3, I need to double that number. 2 lots of 3 is 6, that's correct. So I know I've got the number 6 there. Okay, so just because there are numbers that are put in there that don't match, you don't need to link all of them up. So you're going to draw your lines to match the numbers that have been doubled. So there is an example behind me on the board, and you've got your own to do in your booklet. Okay, so when you have completed your questions, what I would like you to do is come back to this video and we're going to go through some reflection. We're going to reflect on our learning today. So you can see behind me, I've got some questions and I've got a dice as well. So whatever I roll on the dice, I'm going to have a question on this side for me to answer. So let's have a go. So I'm going to roll my dice. Oh. Okay, so my dice is rolling and it's landed on the number 1. Okay, so on question 1, it says, what was the outcome of the lesson supposed to be? What were we doing today? So I want you to have a little think to yourself. You can maybe talk to the person if anybody's sitting next to you. But what was the outcome of the lesson supposed to be? Okay, so hopefully we have referred back to this learning question. So the outcome was for us to use our times tables, our common times tables, to start multiplying together. We might have used different methods, but the common times tables we were using were our 3s and our 2s to double. So let's have another go. We're going to roll the dice. Let's see what number it lands on. And we've got the number 5. So I'm going to go down to question 5. How could you have helped yourself more? What could you have done to help yourself more? Did you maybe do your multiplication in your head with a times table that you weren't 100% confident with? And if you weren't 100%, that's fine. There is the first question in section 1, which was 2 times 8. That's very far along in your 2 times table, and you might not be confident enough with your 8s. So using the method that we looked at on the board, if you need to draw out next time, then that's also fine. Okay, we're going to do one more roll of the dice. Let's see what number we get. Okay, so it's rolling. What number? Oh, we've got the number 1 again. Let's give it another roll because we've had a look at the number 1 already, haven't we? We've got the number 3, so we haven't had that yet, have we? So the number 3 says, did you learn anything new? So have you learned anything new today that you didn't know before the lesson? Okay, so you might want to give some of your feedback in the email. If you want to tell anybody who's sending your email in, please tell Miss Chafe that this is what I've learned new today. Okay, everybody, so before we stop the video, I did say that I would show you where that 100 square is if you want to use it at home. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you where I found it. Lots of you will be familiar with top marks. So if you go into your Google search, okay, so there's my Google search, and all I put in there was 100, so the number 100 square, and then I just put top marks at the end. And when it comes onto your search, you can see that I've gone on the second one down. You can go on either of them. This was to paint the squares, and then you just go on to play game, and then you'd be able to splat them. So you need a 1 to 100 square. You just click on that, and you can choose different colours. If you wanted to use a splat instead, we love a splat. And if you just click on it again, it does take it off if you have made a mistake. So Okay, so hopefully that is something that you can use at home to help you. Also, the QR code was on there as well. Please do send all of your work into the email address, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of your reflection answers for today. Goodbye, everybody.